So I'm just looking at this article in Yahoo Finance. Kate Middleton's mother, Carol, isn't seeking financial help from the royal family for this reason. And it's from another article in sheknows.com. Okay, well, look, I think that if we are going to say that, or if we're going to hypothesize that Kate is still missing, she's really missing, all of the videos are fake, and that William did something to her, which some people have said outright that it is their belief and opinion that William did something to Kate, and it's serious, it's bad, and there's a big cover up. And I have resisted that particular theory that whatever happened to her is because of William, because he would have to be like beyond monster, really. And I don't see him that way. You know, I don't see him that way. I see him as very much of a, he's an ogre, yes, but he's not a monster. He's not going to beat his wife into a coma or something like that. I mean, that's just like homicidal and, crazy. And so I don't believe he did that. But there are a lot of people who have expressed their opinions online that, it's possible that whatever happened to her happened because of something William did. I have always felt that if she is not well, and if all these videos are really fake, it's something she did to herself and not something that William did to her. Some kind of emotional breakdown. And there was a very small window of time before she came out with a cancer video where there was some kind of report that William allegedly said that, he had always told her what to expect when he got married to her, and she had become emotionally fragile or emotionally unstable recently. These are allegations that were attributed to William before Kate came out with a cancer video. And so there was this sense of like something did happen to her, but it's because she's emotionally unstable. And so people sort of concluded that William was having an affair with this other woman, and so Kate was emotionally unstable. And yeah. Okay. So in the end, though, when I read this article, because as I said, I'm kind of like a little bit bored with the Kate Middleton story. Honestly, it's draining, and it doesn't make sense to me. It still doesn't make sense, even though she came out with a video. And I know that it makes me a bad person for saying that. That for me, this still doesn't make sense. All of those videos and photographs that came before that cancer announcement makes the cancer announcement just incongruent. It doesn't make sense, right? Her demeanor, her comportment, her energy levels, 2 days apart between the farm shop and the cancer video does not make sense. The ride with William in that limousine with the chignon, where she looked away from the camera, does not make sense. It's incompatible with the notion that this woman has cancer. Also, the cancer announcement itself, which was very carefully worded, was clear that this woman doesn't even have cancer, but they did not make that clear for the entire world. What they said was that they found back in January that cancer had been present after the surgery, and that she's now receiving, or she's going to receive, preventative chemotherapy. So those two statements right there, to me, were designed to confuse and mislead, because you can't get preventative chemotherapy if you already have cancer, right? So it means that, she does not have cancer now. And it sounds like what she said was cancer had been present, and that now she's getting preventative chemotherapy. I think she basically said, I don't have cancer, but she said it in a way, I believe, to intentionally mislead and to get everybody, or most people in the world who are just not as astute as others, to just draw the conclusion, oh my God, this woman is gravely ill. She has terminal cancer. We have to lay off poor girl. Oh my gosh, poor Kate. And I think that that has worked, but I think it's misleading. So, with all of those things, I am left in a situation where I just don't know what to believe. And also, that cancer announcement video wasn't even live, it was a recorded video, which some AI experts have debunked as even being manipulated. In addition to the Mother's Day photo that received a kill notice from the international news media, such as the Associated Press and Reuters, and so on. All of that together, the totality of all that just leaves me very, very like, I have no idea what to believe, and I don't want to think about this anymore. I don't really care what's happened. And then I said to myself, if something had really happened to Kate Middleton, her parents would never remain silent about it in this way. They would, especially if it was something that William had done to their daughter. And I think this article really helps to cement that opinion, because it says here, Kate Middleton's mother, Carol, isn't seeking financial help from the royal family. So it means that she has not gotten financial help. Either she hasn't, or they want us to believe that she hasn't, right? And to me, the latter is just so sinister, right? So I have to believe the former, that she has not received financial help from the royals and she doesn't want it, right? So it goes on here to say that she just wants her daughter to focus on her recovery. It says here that Kate's parents, Carol and Michael Middleton, are in the middle of a financial crisis that has been swirling in the headlines for over a year. And it says here that the story recently resurfaced after the Times is a very serious paper, right, revealed that the royal adjacent couple was drowning in debt from the demise of their party pieces business. If William, trust me when I say this, right, with all, sincerity, if William had really done something to Kate, her parents would know at this point, and they would speak out, right? And the only reason that they would not speak out is if they received hush money from the royal family. And if they received hush money from the royal family, obviously they would be able to pay their debts of $326,000, which is what they owe to a firm that assisted them with the bankruptcy of their company, according to this Yahoo Finance article. I mean, if the William or the firm had done something to Kate and they wanted to hush up the Middletons, they would pay them significantly more than 326,000. They would pay them more like maybe 32,600,000. They would pay them millions if, in fact, William had done something to Kate to put her in a state where she couldn't, quote unquote, come to the phone. The fact that after everything that has happened, that the royal family still has not bailed out the Middletons or paid them hush money, quote unquote, shows that nothing has happened to Kate that is untoward. Certainly not from William's hands. Certainly not from William's hands. Because if William had done something to Kate, believe me, he would have to pay the Middletons a lot of money. King Charles would have to pay a lot of money to cover William. And it would explain why they're charging these exorbitant amounts of money to enter Balmoral and Buckingham Palace, because they would have to pay them some serious hush money. You're talking about, again, millions, tens of millions, not just 1 or 2 million. This is such a big story that they would have to pay them, I would say, like 50 million, like a lot of money, a lot of cash. And so their bankruptcy fee of £326,000 would be chump change. There would be no need for the Times, Yahoo Finance, She Knows, or anybody else to even discuss the finances of the Middletons, because they would be flush with cash. They could pay 100 solicitors to do a bankruptcy for them if the royal family or William had done anything to Kate, because the royal family would have an interest in hushing the Middletons. And clearly, from these articles, this did not happen. They are not still, I mean, to begin with, it was confusing why the royal family didn't step up to help the Middletons in the first place and to avoid this public disclosure that they're having all these financial problems. But with everything that has been happening with Kate, you would think that, people would soften a little bit and help out. The fact that they haven't done so means that Kate is perfectly fine. And it also means that William had nothing at all to do with her not being fine. Because if that were the case, the royal family and William would pay the Middletons big, big hush money. See what it says here? New owner James Sinclair, who bought Party Pieces out of bankruptcy, revealed to the Telegraph that the Middletons did not get a big fat check for the acquisition. Yeah, there were no big fat checks. This is proof to me that there was no hush money payment, and there's no hush money payment because there was nothing to hush them about. William didn't do anything to Kate. The royal family didn't do anything to Kate. Kate is perfectly fine. And if she isn't, whatever happened to her, she did it to herself. I don't think any parent, no matter how much money they were being paid, would remain silent in a situation where their own daughter's life was either extinguished or put in jeopardy by her husband, no matter who her husband is. No father and mother would put money ahead of that kind of a truth about their own daughter. So I know that the Middletons did not receive hush money, and I know that means that William did nothing to Kate. And, we can just lay this whole thing to rest at this point, right? So, yeah, that's my opinion on this one. What's your opinion? I mean, why did the Times even do this article about, their finances all over again? What the heck does that have to do with anything? What are they trying to stir up, in your opinion?